I don't know if my parents, but tonight is the premiere of
What?
Okay, let's call this meeting to order. So we do have a change to the agenda. I did add Mariners Cove as an information item. It doesn't technically have to be voted on by two-thirds since we're not taking action on it. Sorry, I didn't put it on the agenda, but it's a good update. I don't think they're giving any formal things, so please just highlight this up. So information item about probably the largest development projects that we're gonna be seeing in like ever in OB. So yeah, so all in favor of accepting the agenda as amended? No objections. Awesome. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes, or do I have any changes to the minutes?
No changes, motion to accept.
Oh, awesome, Driver. Do I have a second, Tracy? Okay. Any objections? No objections? Okay, perfect.
Do I have any elect reps here?
No, I just joined the board of the Woodley Community Foundation.
Oh, okay, welcome. Yeah, we saved your reports for the end. So if there's anything you want to tell us, you can tell it. We have a section at the end.
I don't have anything.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no one else is here. I kind of figured because I know Moana's running for city council and Lisa, so she's definitely busy today. 20, so I was taking maybe and then I'm here, they're recording, it's primary day. As it should. Anyways, no, I haven't heard from James Harris in a while. Oh wait, do I have any non-agenda public comment? Okay, moving right along then. Okay, CIPs. As we know, we go through this process every year. I would, hey Virginia, like to obviously farm subcommittee, we will be having a July meeting, not the August meeting, so we will have to present our CIP proposals at the July meeting. So if this would be a subcommittee meeting, we would probably hold it in the next couple of weeks. If you want to join, and we could have a more open public meeting. We can obviously use the Zoom, so it doesn't have to be. Sorry, capital improvement projects, for those of you who are new here and don't know, every year the city asks community members or communities at large, what you want your tax dollar to spend on. So typical CIP projects in the past have been the pier, lifeguard station. Ones we have gotten done are the Bermuda stairs and the other staircases. Rec center was a CIP, capital improvement project. So it's just anything that would typically cost over $100,000. We put park improvements on the list. So yeah. Would anyone like to serve on that ad hoc committee? And so just one meeting commitment outside of it, Greg? Are we Kevin and Tracy? You're nodding? Okay, cool. Anyone else? 3 is a good number though, because then only 2 you have to show up for quorum. Just in case the third like fails or something. Yeah.
This is the motivated.
And when you guys fails, yeah. And then, like I said, I would hold a Zoom and then just try to advertise it as much as possible. If we could target like maybe a 2-week from now date. That'd be awesome. We also, no, I would not.
Can you send?
I was gonna say the speakers also coming up. We could see if someone will give us some booth space. So I don't want to subject anyone to doing
That was a
something like
huge
this.
amount of work, but also very fun.
Yeah,
And it was a great place to get ideas.
it was.
I
It
was
was more
not
organized.
being opposed to doing that again. But when is that?
It's the last Saturday of the month.
So June?
27th.
So if we
So
did.
it's a while from now. I can ask them if there's like any loose space we can squeeze in like a corner of their space or something.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
mean,
but I just don't think they're like in the position to be giving away freebies right now.
no, we
They
shared
don't
the
even
space
know.
with historical last
Yeah.
time we did it. So if they wanna share space with us,
Right.
that would be great.
Okay,
But
let me
and we
see.
can't vote on anything because we don't know if they are gonna charge us and we can't
yeah.
vote on it unless we wanna vote on something now that says nothing more than X dollars.
Mhm.
Where were you sitting last time? We shared with historic and we were across from, I wanna say the Okay. What's the grocery store on that, Chris?
Chris.
Yeah, we were like, we
There are
were
lots of traffic and.
Mhm.
lots of foot traffic, yeah.
And it would just be a good way to kind of tally up any CIP interest, especially after you have a little meeting and then these are some of the things we're thinking about, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so the last time we did it, we had a couple of things that we had to totally segue here, that we had like a bulletin board, we had notepads, we could write down people's ideas, we could talk to them about what they wanted, we couldn't engage in like arguments or conversation or anything, it's just basically asking them questions. We also had a pop-up board that was like a pin board
Yeah,
that
like
you
where
could, where do you
projects,
live,
what
like where do you
is
live,
done.
kind of stuff, so we could see like a general idea of who showed up at the street fair and how they were invested in OB, and I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun to talk to people, but it is a very long day, it's usually hot. So we want to work in shifts if we
Yeah.
can.
Okay, I'll reach out to Denny.
Do we wanna say,
Yeah.
do we wanna put something on the agenda just to cover the cost, just in case? We have to pay something, like under a certain amount of money,
I mean,
or are we just gonna beg to have shared space?
Was this the one, this is anything?
we
Probably.
see that's,
So
yeah,
a thought for reaching out to Danny and they're getting, they are. Considering some geofencing ideas, but similar to like, where's everybody coming from street, where is this all, and where's everybody coming from? So if we kind of position ourselves where we're sort of. As a part of talking to the community,
Yeah.
we're marking where these people are coming from, that might be like, hey, we'll share some of our information if you share some space with us. or something
And
to
you
that
have
effect.
you have a laptop that's not connected to here, can you look up how much the entry fee is for that? For a vendor fee, while we're sitting here talking about it, just so that I have a general idea. Do you think we can like circle back to it after and maybe vote on an amount if you need to?
we can, we just. Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. If you want. It wouldn't be more than 150, I don't think.
You need to pay that.
Okay,
And
so
then
we can
I also
motion to
have to make sure
authorize
you have-
150. The direct treasurer.
Okay. No, it's. Yeah, we should have the money.
Yes.
We have money.
Okay. So we wanna make that motion?
A motion to what?
To authorize up to $150 spend for street fair placement. Street fair placement and other street fair accessories, just if you wanna make a
For
poster.
registration
or
and
something.
supplies, for
Yeah.
150. Yeah, I think we could do that,
Okay,
yeah, I would support that.
like, I'll second.
There are categories,
Do you have the motion?
they have $510 for the retail.
Yeah, they're not gonna charge us that.
And 900 for.
Yeah, right. Okay, anyone opposed?
If it's over that amount, then we just shouldn't do it.
Great. Let's go on to Mariners Cove. Barbara, are you with us?
Really quick on the CIP.
Yeah.
We're starting on the list for ad hoc forms, we got a list, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not really ad hoc starts. so we're
Yeah.
just okay.
From our
I think
whole
that-
list,
Yeah.
scouts, like it's like the budget process, and I have to fill it out before August.
I think we have a healthy list, like a good list.
Yes,
So I would
but
just-
I wanna, it's always good to find new projects,
Yep.
'cause otherwise it's just us.
Yep.
Repeating ourselves.
And people from the outside of OB are a very resource, they use.
Yeah, and the more people we can say, like, we consulted on it,
Yep.
the stronger. Yards.
And then the final list is presented back to you, right? After that.
Yeah, and then we'll be on the, so we're gonna meet in July, so July 7th, and then we'll be dark in August.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool.
Did you send out one of the previous ones, just so we can?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure thing.
if you want to be on.
I mean, if you need me, I will. It really.
We always
we'll
want to.
send it out, it's better to have just the three, like I
Okay.
said, just in case.
The only reason I brought it, because I think the
Alright.
list is strong, so if we pull anything big, I mean, we'll hear about it at the next meeting, that's happening, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara, the floor is yours.
Barbara, do you wanna share your screen now?
Yes, am I not sharing?
You are not sharing.
Oh, let's see. It tells me that on my side that I'm sharing, but let me try that again.
Zoom is the mighty tool. Okay.
Did that work?
That worked, yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Ben, do you want to kick off, or you've got more of the history here?
Thanks. Well, thank you, Barbara. And Andrea, thank you so much for having us back to the planning board. We were here in 2020 talking to you about a plan to redevelop Mariners Cove and really appreciated the audience you gave us then. The project has changed from when we first approached you with it, when we thought we were going to be building 200 plus 272 units actually on the same footprint. But now we're working with the existing lease that was extended back in 2015, and we're doing capital improvements, which Barb will go through. But I wanted to thank you for amending the agenda tonight, and I'll let Barb take it from there.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. And thank you, everybody, for having us. It's really, sorry I can't be there in person, but thanks for letting us do this virtually. And my name's Barb Frommel. I'm with Air Communities. We are the operator, the housing provider at Mariners Cove. And as you may recall, the property is owned, the land is owned by San Diego Housing Commission. So we are partnering with them on this project. But before I talk about that, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about our company. Air Communities is a long-term owner and operator of apartment communities nationwide, and we are focused on best-in-class apartment operations. We're based out of Denver, but we've been in the San Diego community for at least 25 years as a housing operator or housing provider. And we have about 10 properties across San Diego County. This is the only one in the city of San Diego, though, and we're very proud of it because it's as you know, an important affordable housing community. And our company really believes strongly in giving back to communities where we live and work. And an example of that is we give every teammate 15 hours of paid time off to volunteer in the community every year. And so we serve food in soup kitchens, and we clean up beaches and parks. And if you can find a project that needs volunteers, we are happy to do it. So wanted to put that out there because I know you guys are really involved throughout the community, and we'd love to find more ways to get involved in Ocean Beach. So I'm here to talk about Mariners Cove. We're really excited to be able to make this investment into the community. We have a long-standing partnership with the San Diego Housing Commission at this property. We have been the operator here since 1999, so that's a really long time. And we're proud to have this property in our portfolio, and just very excited to be able to deliver this investment to the community. It will improve the resident experience there. It'll improve the quality of life for residents, and also importantly contribute to the preservation of affordable housing in San Diego. So just have a few slides here for you. A little bit of background about the property. It was built in 1984. There are 500 garden-style apartments, 300 are affordable, and 200 are market rate. And I imagine several of you or many of you are familiar with the property. If not, definitely go check it out. It's just a really lovely place. It's a quiet residential setting. It's very green, mature trees, shaded walkways, and it's just a really nice place to live. It's very family friendly, and a great spot of providing affordable living near Ocean Beach. If you're not familiar with the location, it's up there on the northern part of Point Loma, right adjacent to Barnes Tennis Center. And as you know, great access to everything: Ocean Beach, Mission Beach, San Diego International Airport, all the great things that this part of the city offers. This is an aerial shot showing the full property. It is about 31 acres, and it has really great amenities. We've got next to our leasing center. If you visit and do a tour, you'd go to the leasing center. There are two pools on site. There are tennis courts, a fitness center, a playground, and our leasing center has a really nice community space that's sort of like people use as sort of a meeting space or co-working space, and lots of green spaces for kids to play. So it's just a really nice place to live. And so, what are we doing there? As Ben mentioned, we are not redeveloping the property. So, that did not get approved way back when we were talking about it. We never really came to terms with the city on what that might look like. And so, instead, per our ground lease, we are investing about $21 million over the next 3 years just in sprucing up the community. So this will include exterior improvements to the building and buildings, including siding replacements if needed, repainting, and I've got some photos of paint colors I'll show you in a minute. All of the amenity spaces will be upgraded, including the leasing office and the interior community space in there, the pool, the exterior amenities, the playground, the fitness center, the dog park. And then we will also be making improvements to the interior finishes of the apartment homes. Approximately 50% of the apartments on site will receive interior finishes, including both the market rate units and the affordable units. Oops, I don't know what happened there. And there's a picture of the paint colors. Hopefully you can see these okay. It's a really nice sort of coastal theme. Some of the buildings will be painted. I don't have the exact paint color names, but I forgot to write those down. But one set of exterior colors is kind of an ivory. Another is sort of a smoky colonial blue, coastal blue. Right now, I should have done a before and after photo, but right now I like to call it the exterior paint colors are a nice 80s grayish. So I think this will be a really nice update. And these images also show the new roofs, which will be black, and some of those have already been installed. They're working on the roofs already. And so it'll look really nice and clean once it's finished. And this gives a idea of the timing of all this. We've already gotten started, as I mentioned, on the roofs and the exterior work. We'll be replacing the playground this year, which we're really excited about, and so are the kids. All sorts of site work is starting later this year, including sidewalks, utility, access control, fencing, lighting, and then the amenity spaces, which are the ones that everybody asks about. Those will begin at the end of this year, and they'll take about a year to complete. And the apartment interior improvements have already started. We're doing those as people sort of naturally move out and vacate the apartments. We're trying to make sure that that work is as minimally impact, or is as low impact as possible on the residents. And so we've been doing those as people vacate and then before we release the apartments. And that is all I have for you today. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do I have any community questions for the people of Mariners Cove? Do I have any board questions?
What happened to all the improvements that you guys were gonna do? Who didn't approve those? Like all that, because you guys were gonna redevelop in stages and change some of the sizes and whatnot, weren't you? I mean, I thought it was like stages and redevelop. What happened with that?
Well, we did propose a phased redevelopment that would really allow the particularly affordable unit residents to remain on site when we did the redevelopment, so they wouldn't be displaced. We were moving forward on two fronts. One was with the city and the Development Services Department on all the permitting and so forth. The other side was getting a letter of intent from the San Diego Housing Commission because they have the land. That's their land we're on. And the letter of intent, we needed to modify the lease, the existing lease that was agreed to in 2015, lease extension. And we could never come, we just had disagreements over different issues contained within the project. The one I remember the most really was the tenant displacement issues for market rate tenants. Even though we were proposing to take care of the affordable ones, uh, the commission staff felt we also need to treat the market rate people almost the same. I mean, not maybe not quite exact, but it's pretty close. And there was just no way to really do that. There was also some issues around feasibility because we started this back in 2019 and 20, and it ended up going for a number of years through all these machinations of agreeing and disagreeing, and the market changes, the financing changes and so forth. So at some point they was concerned about the feasibility of the project because it was going to be completely financed by Air Communities. There was no public money involved. And it just, for different reasons at different times, that it just could never come together. So we did agree to abide by the lease extension we got in 2015, called for these capital improvements to the tune of 25 million, some of which has already been spent, which is why the current amount you saw on the slide is 20.9, I believe. But so we're abiding by the lease extension that we got in 2015 and making those improvements. We wish we could have done believe me, it would have been great to have, San Diego needs new housing. We all know that. And it would have been, I think, a very nice, great thing for the community. But it just didn't come about, and not much more I can say. I wish it were different.
What are the current terms on your affordable units, affordability level and duration?
I had a hard time hearing that.
Your, the affordable units that you have now, what are the EMI levels
Oh, yes.
for those?
Yes, we have, so I'm going to go back to the slide here. So the 300 affordable, some of those are at 80% AMI and some of those are at 120% AMI.
What's the term for the?
The turnover rate?
No, the term.
How long are the units restricted for?
Oh, how long are the units restricted for? The 120% AMI are dictated by the ground lease. And so I need to look that up again. And I don't know, Ben, if you remember. And then the HAP units are sort of a separate contract, and I would need to look those up. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm happy to get you the answer, and we can send it off and make sure you have that detail.
My recollection is all 300 run with the lease. So
And maybe that's right. Yeah.
all 300 will remain in the rent restricted status throughout the lease term. That was my recollection of it.
Okay. Any other questions?
It's one question. I noticed that you mentioned roofs and you also have a bunch of carports. Did you guys look at solar at all when you were making the improvement plans?
Yes, we do have carports, and we actually are looking at solar, but there's some tax credits are expiring, and so from what I understand, our team is having a difficult time with the deadline, meeting the deadlines on the tax credit expiration, but they're looking at some options there to see if we can make it work.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Anything else?
One more for me.
Okay.
Ben Barber, thank you for the presentation. Last time you were here, we talked about first right of refusal for current tenants. And I'm wondering what that looks like for the market rate ones after we rehab.
Oh, in terms of being able to lease an apartment again?
Yeah, if you're a current tenant and all this happens, obviously we're anticipating rent increase, but what does that look like for existing tenants and first right of refusal or any other terms might be able to share with the board?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as I mentioned, we are we have a couple of different plans here because we have to, we have set a goal with SDHC to renovate 50% of the apartments at each of the different affordability levels by 2029. And so in an ideal world, we would be able to do all of those as they naturally vacate, right? And so in that case, renters are choosing to move out on their own accord, and we rent the bill or we renovate the unit, and then a new renter would come in and rent that unit. Now, there is and our turnover rates are and our vacancy rates on the market rate units, and I believe also on the 120% AMI units. We think we will be able to continue with that plan, let's call that Plan A, and meet that goal of 50% of those units being renovated by March of 2029. The 80% AMI units don't turn over as much. A lot of those residents have been there for a long time and they fully intend to stay. And so if we see that we are not able to meet our milestones on any of those categories of units due to natural vacancy, then we'll go to Plan B. And what we're planning on doing there is asking for volunteers. And so if people volunteer, then they would be potentially temporarily relocated to, say, an on-site guest suite, a furnished guest suite, for about 2 to 3 weeks while the work takes place in their unit. There's a few other options as well. We have the ability to do the renovations while people remain in their apartments, although that tends to be pretty high impact. And then another option might be that somebody may say, oh, I'm going to go stay with friends and family for those 3 weeks. But anyway, we plan to invite people to volunteer. And then if they volunteer, then they would be able to go back into their refurbished unit after it's done. Another option, there's a chance that if they volunteer, there may be a vacant unit that is just like the apartment that they're renting now, that we could transfer them into that if they want to consider that. So the idea, though, is to have zero displacement and have this be as minimally invasive on residents as possible.
Yeah, and that's really what my question was about, and I'll just ask it a little more bluntly, and that's it for me, but following remodel, is there any anticipation whatsoever that the rents would increase, whether you volunteered to have your unit rehab or not? Is there anticipation that the rent would increase for any of the existing tenants?
Yeah, well, the affordable units need to meet the rules of each of those affordability categories. So those rents are
Market rate,
the market rate. With the market rate, we'll charge market rate, right? And so it'll be whatever the market rate is for renovated units of, in this location and, of this building type. Now, these buildings are very old. So, these are always sort of going to be naturally occurring affordable apartments, just because that's what the market allows here.
At the end then.
Sorry, Barbara, you cut off just a little bit, like you paused. Can you repeat like what you said just the last 30 seconds?
Yeah, so I said for the market rate, we will be charging what the market will allow for a renovated unit at this location and in buildings of this age and type, right? So, this is an old property. These are old buildings. And so this property is, a naturally occurring affordable property. These are never going to be, it's not the same as charging market rate for a luxury brand new apartment building, right? So I don't know if that answers your question, but they're market rate units.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I expected, and I think I said it 6 years ago, and I do remember some really good due diligence on your part at that time, that you really were seemingly giving good consideration to existing tenants. And like I said, allowing them first right of refusal to, sign a new lease, whatever. I don't remember the exact terms we're talking about, but my lens here is, how many folks are gonna see this rent increase? And it is what it is. I mean, I understand that the building's 40 years old and in need of some rehab, but there's clearly gonna be some tenants. And some residents that are gonna be facing, it sounds like a decision to have to leave because they likely won't be able to afford the new rent after the rehab. So that was. the reason.
Well, keep in mind, I totally hear what you're saying, but keep in mind those market rate units, they are only renovated after someone has already left. So they've already made that decision to leave on their own, not because an apartment is getting renovated, but they've just decided for their own life reasons that they're moving somewhere else. And then, on top of that, only 50% of those market rate units will be renovated. So the great part about this approach is there are so many options for people, right? They can choose a renovated market rate unit if that's, what they want and that's what their price point is. They can choose an unrenovated market rate unit. So there's really a lot of, and then of course the affordable units if they qualify for those. So there's a lot of options for all types of households.
It's very interesting detail. And last question is, do we know what the current vacancy percentage is at the facility right now? Like how many units are there?
I mean, today, I don't know what it is today. I do know, we have some vacant apartments that we've been able to renovate and get started with. I think there are, I don't know exactly, maybe a dozen or so that are either currently being renovated or sort of in the near term pipeline because a resident has announced that they've decided to leave. But I think traditionally we're looking at low 90s in terms of occupancy.
Thank you.
You kind of glanced over this, but is it 50% of the affordable market rates being improved and 50% of the regular market rates, or is there a difference in that split?
No, it's 50%. So there's three different categories of housing types: the market rate, the 120% AMI, and the 80% AMI. And we are doing 50% of each of those categories.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you guys for coming, and good luck on the rest of your renovations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Do we have any liaison reports? Anything anyone wants to announce? July, we're meeting August.
Thank you, Count. And might as well, since we're here. Bank account is $774.32.
Joe for get a boost for the market to 200.
It's 200 if we want to get.
Is
if
there
the community
anyone-
group-
The question would be, is there anyone, are there any other community groups that have a booth? Like, is the Historical Society setting up a booth?
And if they
Is the
want to
Lions
share.
Club setting up a booth? And then we'll talk to them.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Did you have some? No.
Yeah,
All of this is the shape.
Oh.
So.
do you, yeah,
Well, we're gonna have everybody meeting on Saturday, so we can bring it up.
yeah, ask them if we want, because we'll be taking feedback on capital improvement projects. So the city wants us to submit a list of capital improvement projects, and we have kind of a precursory list. And we'll want feedback on it, I guess.
Yeah, I would put it under your advocacy committee
Okay.
and see if that's something that, cause it's advocating for the community. And I think it would be, as an ex-advocacy
Yeah,
committee chair, I think that would be important for your group.
and it would just be one of us at a time, so it wouldn't be all of us together, it'd just be one or two of us.
Yeah, one or two.
Okay,
Yeah,
definitely.
So.
I think you're definitely.
Okay, cool, awesome. Oh, anything else?
one more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just for anybody who cares, I installed a dog toy library outside of my house. It's kind of, it operates the same way as like the free little libraries where you can give one or take one or give many and take one or whatever you wanna do. It's located on the south side of West Point Loma between Abbott and Bacon, and you can't miss it if you're walking on that street. And so far, it's been wildly popular, like, I can't believe how many people have actually been walking by and taking a look. Some people stop, turn around, take pictures. Lots of dogs are like getting in there and opening the door and like sniffing in there, grabbing a toy. I mean, it's been like wildly entertaining. So, yeah, if anybody's has a dog and wants to exchange toys, let me know. You can just drop them on my doorstep and, you know, I'll wash them and put them back out. But, yeah. That's it.
Chris.
I can't follow the dog toy,
I'm sorry.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's super cute and like everybody loves it and it has its own Instagram page and its own Facebook page. And I'm trying to get a grant right now for dog toys, so we'll see.
You took the show Caitlin too.
I have a 24/7. Yeah.
I did re-nominate Tracy for Community Citizen of the Year. Should we wait? When do we do those?
Or like the Humane Society
Yeah, right.
person of the year.
My update is not that exciting, just on the Arts Commission lights on front of the there was a public hearing last Wednesday, went till midnight, started at 6:30, went till midnight, and 250 people public comment, I was one of them. All in an effort to get our mayor to add somebody completely, almost 90% of my vote of the Arts Commission budget. Don't know, there was supposed to be an independent budget analyst report out today, I heard that, we'll see if we get anything back.
On voting day?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be, it's in council's hand now, right, they take it back. Maybe soon, but what an interesting world we live in. National attention for the city saying. There's the opposite of rights and sad.
Okay, any other liaison reports? Okay, great. I'll see you all July 7th. I will see you call in. And then, yeah, if we do work out the booth thing, I'll sign up at like a sign up form, and if everyone can do maybe a 2-hour shift or something.